million miles from you. So I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever. Though you can't deny, hold it all inside. No, you can trust me, just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. I'll be around. Yeah. You're not scared of love, just scared of love. Alright, alright, enough. Just tell me if you want my love or not, or not. 'Cause I don't wanna be that one. Still a million miles from you, yeah. So I'm gonna let you go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever. Though you can't deny, hold it all inside. No, you can trust me, just close your eyes, knowing that I'm around. 'Cause I don't wanna be that one. No, still a million miles from you. So I'm gonna let you go. You go. Oh boy, if you only knew. Not a day goes by without you on my mind. You couldn't go on together. You said nothing lasts forever. Though you can't deny, hold it all inside. No, you can trust me, just close your eyes, knowing that I'm
Tell him I need my money right now. Brought me the juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. But don't waste my energy, my energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my integrity. No, I thought we would be just fine, and I thought your heart was like mine. But let me find out, you've been going around throwing shots, running plots. Come on, man, tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell him I need my money right now. Brought me the juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. Don't waste my loyalty, my loyalty. I let you in back then because I couldn't see, but now it's clear you ain't ever been true to me. My intuition ain't ever lied, I had to leave. Handle your business, do what you think you need to do to get your revenge. But you won't break me, God as my witness. That's the point of no return, I'm on a mission. Tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell him I need my money right now. Brought me the juice, they stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup, yeah. Don't waste my
she's putting all of her cards down on the table, knowing there's no way that you'll be able to win this one. But she's somebody else in the making. First, she just gotta stop all the faking, and she'll be there. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like this whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Somebody say, don't be afraid of loving yourself, 'cause that is all you got in the end. You got in the end. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like this whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that'll make her feel better? Make her feel better. And that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Yeah, that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own.
Yeah. I want a house in the hills I pay big bills for. I ain't got in pocket. I wanna empty out my wallet. I wanna stop motion, stand still. Wallace and Gromit. I wanna talk more endlessly. I wanna neurotically vomit. I want more dollars from my mama. I want a palace in Prada. I want a Gucci bag where I can store my sorrows and hardships. I wanna gold plate my finance. I want endless tomorrows. I want a lot more than I got right now. But that's the problem. You could give me every little thing I'd ever want, but I'd never have enough till the day I had it all. Yeah, you can give me every little thing I ever want, but I'd never have enough till the day I had it all.
Oh, I see what you want, baby, but it might be just a little more than I can give you.
Second thought, I want $1 for everyone, not just for my mama. I wanna hit the ball out on random pedestrians. I want my questions to be answered till my brain bored and questionless. I want more self-assurance. I don't ever want to second guess. I want someone to shut the fuck up. Lest he trying to tell me yes again. I want so many best friends that I can't tell what friendship is. I want the diamonds, gold, and glitter. I want fast cars I'll never whip. I want it all till I'm empty in my castle of everything.
Oh, I see what you want, baby, but it might be just a little more than I can give you.
I want a cushy job. have that pay big bills and cheap thrills. Wanna mob out with my homies like Timmy, Tommy, and Dill. I'm not trying to be famous, okay, maybe a lil. Since I'm a rapper, I should buy me some grills and gold frills that I can sleep on while I contemplate pills and peep on, hold still. Might sedate you, just a fire at will. I got an appetite for hardship, big fish meets krill. Don't sleep, don't spill, I ain't got my fill. I want the beauty queen to make me show my pearly whites. The type of movie scene that make you count your blessings twice. It's not the only thing that's on my list, I checked it twice and sent it off to Santa's elves like I've been playing nice.
I see what you want. Oh, I see what you want. Oh, I see what you want. But it might be a little more than I give you.
You broke my heart a million times. Can't count the times I made you cry. Oh, we're such a mess now, and we're burning out. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. You're still perfect as the day goes by. Even the worst ones.
Good morning.
They make me smile. I stop the world if
That's 1, 2.
it would give us time, yeah, to work things out, to work things out, to work things out, to work things out, yeah, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. Oh, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. Can we be honest? You're my comfort zone. Whatever I say, don't let me go. I know you're angry, babe, and I am cold. I get so sad at the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. I can't bear the thought of losing you. I'm losing you. You're still perfect as the day goes by. Even the worst ones, hey, they make me smile. I stop the world if it would give us time, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. To work things out, to work things out, yeah, yeah, to work things out, to work things out. Oh, yeah, to work things out, 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 to work things out.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hold on 1 second. Hey.
Hey, it's a $44.
Oh, he gave you another discount?
Yes.
So you got it down from $10 a yard to $4.40?
Yes, he's helping me out a lot. Yes.
Okay. Did you have to pay cash? I was gonna call. I'm calling you right now to say, man, can we get it for cheaper? Because I got all that other fabric
Okay.
for $10 total. And I know, what are we getting? 50 yards? No, we're getting 50. Well, we're getting 10 yards, so that's 15 feet. But
Yeah, thank you so much.
you already paid for it?
Yes.
Damn. Damn.
I appreciate you, sir. Have a good day.
You didn't even look around. You just went to the first person you saw, huh?
That's not true.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I believe you just said, fuck this. I need to get out of here. I don't want to be downtown in the Fabric District. All right. All right, cool. Anyways.
Yeah, you can't see through it. It's 44. He went down from 10 to 5. And then he gave me the other. Because I was like, we can't do 4.
All right. All right, cool.
I said no.
All right, cool. All right, cool. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, and I held it up to the sun, by the way.
Okay, no, that's what we need. I need to block out the sun completely. Okay. I'll talk to you.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Rich People Read, where we read a book a month to instruct you in the ways of the successful through the power of reading. I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad you're here. We're getting ready to knock out this book. Does everybody have a copy? This book cost me $7.18. It was shipped to my house for free. They taxed me too, because I'm in California, so they added tax. So I think it came out to like $7.87 or something like that. $7.93 or some bullshit like that. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, brand new copy. I want you guys to go grab a copy. Click the link in the description of this video and grab yourself a copy of this book. Remember, it's important that you guys own a physical copy of everything that we read. I need you guys to own. Ooh, why is it dark? Rise. There we go. I need you guys to own a physical copy of every book that we read here at Rich People Read, because when you get your house, I want you to build a library, and I want you to be able to say, these are all the books that I've read. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm super excited to get started. Let's scroll to the top and see what's popping. Stephen Day is in the house. D. Lynn is in the house. Good morning, D. Lynn. Before the billions, my man is it. Before the biz, and hit us off with a super chat, y'all.
Being number one isn't easy.
Did everybody hit before the billions with a number one? Did everybody hit him? Everybody hit before the billions with a super chat. I mean, hit us with a $20 super.
Being number one isn't easy.
Man, let's make him the stream sponsor. You guys. My man before the billions is in the house. 1999. He hit us off before the billions. Before the billions name is now immortally embedded into this video, scrolling across the screen. Listen, everybody, before I continue, it's important that you guys take 10 seconds and go to YouTube and search the term before the billions. Can everybody do me a quick favor? Go, I'm gonna count down. Run over to the search bar in your YouTube screen, type before the billions, and when you see that pop up, hit the subscribe button. When you see his name pop up, I want you to hit the subscribe button. All right, here we go. I'm gonna count down. The search term is before the billions. All right, not millions, billions with a B. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, come on back. Thank you for supporting my homie. Thank you guys for supporting my friend. And when you support him, when you follow him, make sure you hit the bell. And then when he goes live, make sure you send him some super chats. Support him. Give him effort. He's a content creator. You know, this stuff is not easy, you guys, by the way. I had to hire a whole new person to help me do this podcast. I pay somebody every Friday to help me do this podcast. She gets a paycheck every Friday. And the money is coming really primarily from you guys, because it's tough to do this. It was too much for me to do. I'm not sure if Before the Billions have a staff, but if he doesn't, it takes a lot of his time. I know he has a family. So thank you so much for supporting him and supporting him through super chats when he goes live. All right. Thank you guys so much. Lakeisha is in the house. Good morning, Lakeisia. Drea's in the house. What's happening, Drea? We getting ready to read, you guys. Peter Investor. Man, where you been? My man Peter Investor's in the house. I'm just scrolling real quick, flying through it. LaRonda. Good morning, LaRonda. Scroll to the bottom. Just saying hi to all my friends. Oh, that's the receipt. I got to pay her for the receipt. We was doing, had to buy some fabric this morning. Kimberly. Good morning, Kimberly. How are you? Yes, Kimberly. She typed salute. Did the system notify? Yep, there it is. Everybody, type the word salute in the chat. Type the word salute in the chat. Happy birthday, Eric. Did everybody say happy birthday to my man, Eric? Shout out to Eric for making a rotation around the sun. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I think he's only 19 years old now. Eric Jones is only 19 years old. Everybody type salute in the chat. Type salute in the chat. Salute to Eric.
Sir, yes, sir.
Salute to Eric. Happy birthday, man. It's a blessing to have another birthday each year. Let's keep it going. All the way going. All right. D. Lynn just typed salute. LaRonda typed salute. Okay, guys, listen. We're reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Today is chapter 1. For everybody that's been wanting to read this book and didn't have time to do it, now's the time. We're only doing one chapter a day. We're doing one chapter a day. Today we'll do chapter 1. Wednesday we'll do chapter 2. Friday we'll do chapter 3. Next week on Monday we'll do chapter 4. Wednesday chapter 5. And then next Friday after next rather, we'll do chapter 6, so on and so forth. And the book only has 9 chapters, so we'll be done by the end of the month. In fact, I think we have an extra week left over, so we'll probably find something quick to read for that 1 week. But this book is a great book. I was introduced to this book in 2001, I think. It was released in 1997. It was let me read to you the description of this book. That'd be best. Rich Dad, Poor Dad his name is Robert Kiyosaki. It says Rich Dad, Poor Dad is Robert's story of growing up with 2 dads, his real father and his father and the father of his best friend, his rich dad. And wait. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so it says Rich Dad, Poor Dad is Robert's story of growing up with 2 dads, his real father, who was a poor dad, and the father of his best friend, which was his rich dad, and the ways in which both men shaped his thoughts about money and investing. The book explodes the myth that you need to earn a high income to be rich and explains the difference between working for money and having your money work for you. Together, we are going to read this book. All right. So today is chapter 1. Last Friday, we read the introduction. So I want you guys to turn up your volumes. We're getting ready to read. This is 22 pages. And the way it's set up now. Oh, shit. Did I set up? I didn't set up the new screen. All right. Hold on 1 second, guys. You guys are going to have to bear. You guys are about to watch me design my screen. How about that? You guys are going to, this is a first for most of you guys. You're going to watch me design my screen because it got deleted accidentally this weekend and I forgot to fix it. All right, so we're getting ready to read this. So let me duplicate this, right? And then we're going to get rid of that. And then we're going to switch to source. We're going to make it blank. Now, I know you guys can't see me, but I'm here, right? So I'm about to design the screen. And we're going to call this the read screen. Going to get rid of the old read screen. Yep. And then what I need to do is I need to add my video. Right. And then we're going to switch to the right camera. Not that one. This one. Cool. And then we're going to blow me up. And then we're going to change the aspect ratio. We're going to change the aspect ratio to, I think it's classic is what I had it at. All right, we're going to bring this over and bring this down. We're going to blow this up some. All right. And then we need to bring in the book. So if we bring in the book, we'll do that through, let's see. This, change this to books. We'll change this again to square. We'll bring this over. Oops, don't want to do that. Cool, I got to change my aspect ratio. I think mine is going to be square as well. Bring that over here. And then bring this here. Bring it down. Bring it down. Right? Then, hold on, I got to make this a little bigger so I can work with it. I think I'm going to bring this to be full screen. I'm going to bring this smaller. Let's say about right there. Cool. Then let's add some text. We're going to call this Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We're going to blow that up. Put that up here. About right there. And then I want a subtitle up under it. And the subtitle is going to say, what the rich teach their kids. Wait. What the rich teach their kids about money. Right? Then we're going to take this one and blow this up a lot bigger. Let's say 36. Let's say 48. How about that? Shrink this over. Bring this here. Make this a little smaller. Cool. This is temporary, but I had to throw that together just for today, you guys. So then I need to bring my screen down below everybody. And then thank you. Why can't we see that on top? That should be on top. Boom. Boom. That's going to have to work. That is going to have to work for today. And then I'll work it out to be better later on. Designing. You guys are sitting here designing the screen. Hey, Marvelette. Marvy's in the house. Lucky is in the house. Hey, Lucky, Cutie Pie. Good to see you here. Drea, you guys gonna listen? Y'all came to listen? I know you guys had to watch me design my screen real quick. Sorry about that because I was doing some changes this weekend and then I accidentally deleted the read screen of all screens and I didn't have a backup. And I've been meaning to fix it. And I said, I just got to fix it before Monday. And I never did that. Before we read, did everybody get drinking water? Make sure you guys are drinking at least 2,000 milliliters of water. Otherwise, 64 ounces. 64 ounces of water per day. Mix it with BCAAs, your favorite flavor, and it'll taste like you're drinking Kool-Aid all day long, but it'll be the healthiest Kool-Aid you've ever drank. We're getting ready to knock this out. Marvy, turn up your headphones so you can listen to your boy read. Lucky, turn up your headphones so you can listen to your boy read. Igbu Quino, we made it. I'm glad. We get ready to start with chapter 1 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a great book. I want you guys to tap in with me, and we're getting ready to read. Let me adjust my camera settings because it's a little dark. And we'll go from here. Alvin, what up? Why is my phone going off? Oh, Marvy's at the office. Okay, cool. Hey, Snuggles. Okay, guys. Sorry for the delay. I had to redesign the this whole image. And I kind of still don't like it because I don't want me to be square, but it'll work for right now. It'll work for right now. All right. I appreciate you guys being here. For those that don't know, hey, M Mills, for those that don't know, this is a live book club. It's a book club. And really, to be honest with you, you guys are helping me read these books that I've been wanting to read for years. I've been meaning to read this book here for over 20 years. I've been meaning to read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, for over 20 years. And I know you guys have heard of it. And I know you want a copy. So go grab your copy. It's only $7.18 on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, they'll ship it for free. At least you'll be able to say it. If you have your book already, grab it. Go get a pen so you can highlight the important parts. And then if not, just turn your volumes up and listen to your boy read. I'll do my best to make sure I'm phonetically proper and I'm loud and clear. I appreciate you guys being here. Just tap in. It's a good book. And if you want to learn about money and the difference of what one rich dad was teaching his son versus a poor dad was teaching his son, and the kid decided to listen to the rich dad, you're getting ready to learn it right now. Today is the first day, chapter 1. All right, let's get started. Let's get started. Chapter 1 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Lesson 1, the rich don't work for money. Ha, ain't that a bar? Shit, that's a bar. Oh, by the way, this chapter is 22 pages. And so I'm going to be reading relatively fast today so we can get through this because it's 22 pages of these new big pages. And so I want to kind of like blow through it. I'm even limit some of my my sidebar. All right, here we go. Thank you, Drea. Is Drea a moderator? I think I keep asking that. I need to, if Drea is not a moderator, let me know so I can make her one. Anyways, let's go. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. The poor and the middle class work for money. Are you poor or are you middle class currently? You know what? You guys, let's switch over to something real quick. Let's switch over to something real quick. Hold on. I want you guys to read something real quick. I'm going to go to my YouTube page before we start this chapter. Before we start this chapter, hold on. I put up this post. Let me see if I can find it. Right here. This post right here. Where do you fit in? Where do you fit in? Are you rich or are you poor? Do you know? Are you rich or are you poor? Let's see. Right here, everybody. There we go. Income group. Where do you fit in? I don't need you to write it in the description. I mean, I don't need you to write it in the chat. But are you poor? This is for an individual with a family of 3. But let's do it on individual terms. Do you make $32,000 or less per year? Do you make $32,000 or less per year? If you do, you are poor. That's a little less than $3,000 a month. All right. $2,000 a month is $24,000 a year. $3,000 a month is $36,000 a year. So we'll say this is about $2,750 a month. About $2,700 a month, right? All right. So middle class, if you're in the lower middle class, you're making between $32,000 and $53,000. You're making between $32,000 and $53,000. Do you make less than $53,000 a month? That will put you in lower middle class. These numbers are as of 2019, so it's not that far off. All right, so $50,000 a month is $53,000 a month is roughly, well, figure this. If you made $6,000 a month, you'd be making $72,000 a year. If you made $5,000 a month, you'd be making $60,000 a year. So if you make $4,000 a month, you'd be making $48,000. So this is a little over $48,000. Little over $48,000. I mean, I'm sorry, little over $4,000. Little over $4,000 a month, because $4,000 a month is 48 grand a year. You're really supposed to be doing this by the week, 52 weeks a year, right? But I'm just doing it by the month for math purposes. So if you make around $4,200 a month, you are considered in the lower middle class. You're considered in the lower middle class. To be rock solid in the middle class, you are at $53,000 a month up to $106,000. $106,000 a month. That is the middle class. We're not going to go any higher, because above that is the upper middle class, and that's not what Robert Kiyosaki's talking about. So this is between 53,000 and 106. This is 53,000 and 106. This is on, if you guys want to read this, this is on my community tab. This is on my community tab on my YouTube page. And I think somebody was saying that the numbers were off. I explained to him where the numbers came from and broke it down and told him that he said $500,000 is middle class. So he was off. So you guys go read the whole conversation over there. I break it all down for that. But I just want to make sure that you guys know where you stand. Do you know where you stand? Are you poor, lower middle class, or middle class? All right. As we get ready to read, I want to know if you guys are poor, lower middle class, or middle class. All right. So let's switch back. This is all right. Cool. Let's minimize that. Let's get back here. All right. The poor and middle class work for money. The rich people, upper middle class and above, have money work for them. Dad, can you tell me how to get rich? My dad put down the evening paper after I asked him that question, and said, "Why do you want to get rich, son?" And then he said, "Because today Jimmy's mom drove up in their new Cadillac and they were going to the beach, to their beach house for the weekend. He took 3 of his friends, but Mike and I weren't invited. They told us we weren't invited because we were poor kids." Damn. "They did?" my dad asked incredulously. "Yeah, they did," I replied in a hurt tone. My dad silently shook his head, pushed his glasses up on the bridge of his nose, and went back to reading the paper. I stood waiting for an answer. The year was 1956. I was 9 years old. By some twist of fate, I attended the same public school where the rich people sent their kids. We were primarily a sugar plantation town. The managers of the plantation and other affluent people, such as the doctors and the business owners and the bankers, sent their children to this elementary school. After grade 6, their children were generally sent off to private schools. Because my family lived on one side of the street, I went to this school. I went to this school. Had I lived on the other side of the street, I would have gone to a different school with kids from families more like mine. After grade 6, though, these kids and I will go on go to the public intermediate and high school. There was no private schools for them or for me. My dad finally put down the newspaper. I can tell that he was thinking. "Well, son," he began slowly, "if you want to be rich, you have to learn to make money." "Well, how do I make money?" I asked him. "Well, use your head, son," he said, smiling. Even then, I knew that really meant that's all I'm going to tell you. Or, I don't know the answer, so don't embarrass me, son. A partnership is formed. The very next morning, I told my best friend Mike what my dad had said. As best I could tell, Mike and I were the only poor kids in this school. Mike was also in this school by a twist of fate. Someone had drawn a jog in the line for the school district, and we wound up in the school with the rich kids. We weren't really poor, but we felt as if we were because all the other boys had new basketball gloves, they had new bicycles, they had new everything. Mom and dad provided us with the basics like food and shelter and clothes, but that was about it. My dad used to say, "If you want something, work for it." We wanted things, but there was not much work available for a 9-year-old boy. "So what do we do to make money?" Mike asked. "I don't know," I said, "but do you want to be my partner?" Mike agreed. And so on that Saturday morning, Mike became my first business partner. We spent all morning coming up with ideas on how to make money. Occasionally, we talked about all the quote unquote cool guys at Jimmy's beach house having fun. It hurt a little, but that hurt was good because it inspired us to keep thinking of a way to make money. Finally, that afternoon, a bolt of lightning struck. It was like an idea. It was an idea that Mike got thinking of a way to make money. It was an idea Mike got from a science book that he had read. Excitedly, we shook hands and the partnership now had a business. For the next several weeks, Mike and I ran around our neighborhood, knocking on doors and asking our neighbors if they would save their toothpaste tubes for us. With puzzled looks, most adults consented with a smile. Some asked what we were doing, to which we replied, "We can't tell you. It's a business secret." My mom grew distressed as the weeks wore on. We had selected a site next to her washing machine as the place we would stockpile all of our raw materials. In a brown cardboard box that at one time held ketchup bottles, our little pile of used toothpaste tubes began to grow. Finally, my mom put her foot down. The sight of her neighbor's messy, crumpled up, used toothpaste tubes had gotten to her. "What are you boys doing?" she asked. "And I don't want to hear again that it's a business secret. Do something with this mess or I'm going to throw it out." Mike and I pleaded and begged, explaining that we would soon have enough and that then we would begin production. We informed her that we were waiting on a couple of neighbors to finish their toothpaste so we could have their tubes. Mom granted us 1 week extension. The date began to begin production, was moved up, and the pressure was on. My first partnership was already being threatened with an eviction notice by my own mother. It became Mike's job to tell the neighbors to quickly use their toothpaste, saying that their dentist wanted them to brush more often anyway. I began to put together the production line. One day, my dad drove up with a friend to see 2 9-year-old boys in the driveway with the production line operating at full speed. There was a fine white powder everywhere. On a long table were small milk cartons from school, and our family's hibachi grill was glowing red hot with coals at maximum heat. My father walked up cautiously, having to park the car at the base of the driveway since the production line blocked the carport. As he and his friend got closer, they saw a steel pot sitting on top of coals in which the toothpaste tubes were being melted down. In those days, you see, toothpaste did not come in plastic tubes. The tubes were made of lead. So once the paint was burned off, the tubes were dropped in the small steel pot. They melted until they became liquid, and with my mom's pot holders, we poured the lead through a small hole in the top of the milk cartons. The milk cartons were filled with plaster of Paris. White powder was everywhere. In my haste, I had knocked the bag over, and the entire area looked like it had been hit by a snowstorm. The milk cartons were the outer containers for the plaster of Paris molds. My dad and his friends watched as we carefully poured them the molten lead through a small hole in the top of their plaster of Paris cube. Careful, my dad said. Oh, damn, Lakeisha, you've been hacked. Okay. Careful, my dad said. I nodded without looking up. Finally, once the pouring was through, I put the steel pot down and smiled at my dad. What are you boys doing? He asked with a cautious smile. We were doing what you told me to do. We're going to be rich, I said. Yep, Mike said, grinning and nodding his head. We're partners. And what is in those plaster molds? My dad asked. Watch, I said. This should be a good batch. With a small hammer, I tapped at the seal that divided the cube in half. Cautiously, I pulled at the top half of the plaster mold, and the lead nickel fell out. Oh no, my dad exclaimed. You're casting nickels out of lead? That's right, Mike said. We're doing as you told to. We're making money. My dad's friend turned and burst into laughter. My dad smiled and shook his head. Along with a fire and a box of spent toothpaste tubes in front of him were 2 little boys, covered with white dust, smiling from ear to ear. He asked us to put everything down and sit with him on the front step of our house. With a smile, he gently explained what the word counterfeiting meant. Our dreams were dashed. You mean this is illegal? Mike asked Mike in a quivering voice. Let them go, my dad's friend said. They might be developing a natural talent. My dad glared at him. Yes, it is illegal, my dad said gently, but you boys have shown great creativity and original thought. Keep going. I'm really, really proud of you. Hold on. Disappointed, Mike and I sat in silence for about 20 minutes before we began cleaning up our mess. The business was over on its opening day. Sweeping the powder up, I looked at Mike and I said, I guess Jimmy and his friends are right. We are poor. My father was just leaving my father was just leaving as I said that. Boys, he said, you're only poor if you give up. The most important thing is that you did something. Most people only talk and dream of getting rich. Let me repeat that again. Sidebar. Most people only talk and dream about getting rich. You've done something. I'm very proud of you two, of the two of you. I will say it again. Keep going. Don't quit. Mike and I stood there in silence. They were nice words, but we still didn't know what to do. So how come you're not rich, Dad? I asked. Because I chose to be a school teacher. School teachers really don't think about being rich. We just like to teach. I wish I could help you, but I really don't know how to make money, son. Mike and I turned and continued to clean up. I know, said my dad. If you boys want to learn how to be rich, don't ask me. Talk to your dad, Mike. My dad? Asked Mike with a scrunched up face. Yeah, your dad, repeated my dad with a smile. Your dad and I have the same banker. And he raves about your father. He told me several times that your father is brilliant when it comes to making money. My dad? Mike asked. Then how come we don't have a nice car and a nice house and, nice stuff like the rich kids at school? A nice car and a nice house doesn't necessarily mean you're rich or you know how to make money. My dad replied. Jimmy's dad worked for the sugar plantation. He's not much different from me. He works for a company and I work for the same government. The company buys the car for him. The sugar company is in financial trouble and Jimmy's dad may soon have nothing. Your dad is different, Mike. He seems to be building an empire, and I suspect in a few years, he will be a very rich man. With that, Mike and I got excited again. With the new vigor, we began cleaning up the mess caused by our new defunct first business. As we were cleaning, we made plans for how and when to talk to Mike's dad. The problem was that Mike's dad worked for long hours and often did not come home until late at night. His father owned warehouses, a construction company, a chain of stores, and 3 restaurants. It was the restaurants that kept him out late, though. Mike caught the bus home after we had finished cleaning up. He was going to talk to his dad when he got home that night and ask him if he would teach us how to become rich. Mike promised to call as soon as he talked to his dad, even if it was late. The phone rang at 8:30 p.m. Okay, I said. Next Saturday, I put the phone down. Mike's dad had agreed to meet with us. On Saturday, I caught the 7:30 a.m. bus to the poor side of town. The lesson begins. Mike and I met with his dad that morning at 8 o'clock. He was already busy, having been at work for more than an hour. His construction supervisor was just leaving in his pickup truck as I walked up to his simple, small, and tidy home. Mike met me at the door. Hey, Dad's on the phone, and he said to wait on the back porch, Mike said as he opened the door. The old wooden floor creaked as I stepped across the threshold of the aging home. There was a cheap mat put inside the door. The mat was there to hide the years of wear from the countless footsteps that the floor had supported. Although clean, it needed to be replaced. I felt claustrophobic as I entered the narrow living room that was filled with old, musty, overstuffed furniture that today would be a collector's item. Sitting on the couch were 2 women, both a little older than my mom. Across from the women sat a man in workman's clothes. He wore khaki slacks and a khaki shirt, neatly pressed but with no starch, and polished work boots. He was about 10 years older than my dad. They smiled as Mike and I walked past them towards the back porch. I smiled back shyly. Who are those people? I asked. Oh, they work for my dad. The older man, he runs his warehouses, and the women are the managers of the restaurants. And as you arrived, you saw the construction supervisor who was working on a road project about 50 miles from here. His other supervisor, who was building a track of houses, left before you got here. Does this go all the time? I asked. Not always, but quite often, Mike smiled as he pulled up a chair to sit down next to me. I asked my dad if he would teach us how to make money, Mike said. Oh, and what did your dad say to that? I asked with cautious curiosity. Well, he had a funny look on his face at first, and then he said he would make us an offer. Oh, I said, rocking my chair back against the wall. I sat there perched on two rear legs of the chair. Mike did the same thing. Do you know what that offer is? I asked. Nope, but we'll soon find out. So suddenly Mike's dad burst through the rickery screen door onto the porch. Mike and I jumped up on our feet, not out of respect, but because we were startled. Ready, boys? Mike's dad asked as he pulled up a chair to sit down with us. We nodded our heads as we pulled our chairs away from the wall to sit in front of him. He was a big man, about 6 feet tall, about 200 pounds. My dad was taller, about the same weight and 5 years older than Mike's dad. They sort of looked alike, not of the same, ethnic makeup. Maybe their energy was similar. I don't know. Mike says, you want to learn how to make money. Is that correct, Robert? I nodded my head quickly, but with a little trepidation. He had a lot of power behind his words and smile. Okay, here's my offer. I'll teach you, but I won't do it classroom style. You work for me, I'll teach you. You don't work for me, I won't teach you. I can teach you faster if you work, and I'm wasting my time if you just want to sit and listen like you do over at school. That's my offer. Take it or leave it. May I ask a question first? I asked. No, you can't. Take it or leave it. I've got too much work to do to waste my time. If you can't make up your mind decisively, then you will never learn to make money anyway. Opportunities come and go, son. Being able to know when to make quick decisions is an important skill. You have the opportunity that you asked for. School is beginning or it's over in 10 seconds. Mike's dad sat with a teasing smile. Take it, I said. Take it, said Mike. Good, said Mike's dad. Miss Martin will be in 10 minutes. After I'm through with her, you'll ride with her to my superette and you could begin working. I'll pay you 10 cents an hour and you'll work there. You'll work 3 hours every single Saturday. But I have softball games, I said. Mike's dad lowered his voice to a stern tone. Take it or leave it. I'll take it, I replied, choosing to work instead of playing softball. 30 cents later. It's a good story, right? You guys, is everybody paying attention? We're in chapter 1 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We're learning as Robert Kiyosaki, 1956, I think he said he was 9 years old and he wanted to learn how to make money. His father was poor and he didn't know how to make money. He was just a school teacher. And so they tried to counterfeit some nickels. Dad told him that counterfeiting is illegal. And then, but his dad, his poor dad told him and his buddy Mike that Mike's dad is actually rich and that they should learn from him. And that's what we're learning right now. That's the offer that Mike's dad gave. Said, come work for me every Saturday for 3 hours at 10 cents an hour, and I'll teach you how to get rich. Take it or leave it. 30 cents later, by 9 o'clock in the morning that day, Mike and I were working for Mrs. Martin. She was a kind and patient woman. She always said that Mike and I reminded her of her 2 grown sons. Although kind, she believed in hard work and kept us moving. We spent 3 hours taking canned goods off the shelves, brushing each can with a feather duster to get the dust off, and then restacking them neatly. It was excruciatingly boring work. Mike's dad, whom I call my rich dad, owned 9 of these little superettes, each with a large parking lot. They were the early version of the 7-Eleven convenience stores, little neighborhood grocery stores where people bought items such as milk and bread and butter, and cigarettes. The problem was that this was Hawaii before air conditioning was widely used, and the stores could not close their doors because of the heat. On two sides of the store, the doors had to be wide open to the road and the parking lot. Every time a car drove by or pulled into the parking lot, dust would swirl and settle in on the store. We knew we had a job as long as there was no air conditioning. For 3 weeks, Mike and I reported to Mrs. Martin, and I worked our 3 hours. By noon, our work was over, and she dropped 3 little dimes in each of our hands. Now, even at the age of 9 in the mid 1950s, 30 cents was not too exciting. Comic books cost 10 cents back then, so I usually spent my money on comic books and went home. By Wednesday of the 4th week, I was ready to quit, bro. I had agreed to work only because I wanted to learn to make money from Mike's dad, and now I was a slave for 10 cents an hour. On top of that, I had not seen Mike's dad since that first Saturday. I'm quitting, I told Mike at lunchtime. School was boring, and now I didn't even have my Saturdays to look forward to, but it was the 30 cents that really got to me. This time, Mike smiled. "What are you laughing at?" I asked with anger and frustration. "Dad said this would happen. He said to meet with him when you were ready to quit." "What?" I said indignantly. "He been waiting for me to get fed up?" Sort of," Mike said. "Dad's kind of different. He doesn't teach like your dad does. Your mom and dad lecture a lot, My dad is quiet and a man of few words. You just wait till this Saturday. I'll tell him that you're ready." "You mean I've been set up, bro?" Not really, but maybe. Look, Dad will explain on Saturday." Waiting in line on Saturday, I was ready to face Mike's dad. Even my real dad was angry with him. My real dad, the one I call the poor one, thought that my rich dad was violating child labor laws and should be investigated. My educated, poor dad told me to demand what I deserve, at least 25 cents an hour. My poor dad told me that if I do not get a raise, I was to quit immediately. That's what my poor dad told me. "You don't need that damn job anyway, son," said my poor dad with indignation. At 8 o'clock that next Saturday morning, I walked through the door of Mike's house when Mike's dad opened it. "Take a seat and wait in line," he said as I entered. He turned and disappeared into his little office next to a bedroom. 45 minutes went. I looked around the room and didn't see Mike anywhere. It was just me. Feeling awkward, I cautiously sat down next to the same 2 women who were there 4 weeks earlier. They smiled and slid down the sofa to make room for me. 45 minutes later, I was steaming hot. The 2 women had met with him and left 30 minutes earlier. An older gentleman was there for 20 minutes and was also gone. The house was completely empty, and here I sat in a musty, dark living room on a beautiful, sunny Hawaiian day, waiting to talk to a cheapskate who exploited children. I could hear him rustling around in the office, talking on the phone and just ignoring me, right? I was ready to walk out, man. But for some reason I stayed. Finally, 15 minutes later, at exactly 9 o'clock, Rich Dad walked out of his office, said nothing, and signaled with his hand for me to enter. "I understand you want a raise, or you're going to quit, huh?" Rich Dad said as he swiveled in his office chair. "Well, you're not keeping your end of the bargain," I blurted out, nearly in tears. It was really frightening for me to confront a grown-up. "You said that you would teach me If I work for you, well, I've worked for you. I've worked hard. I've given up my baseball games to work for you, but you haven't kept your word and you haven't taught me anything. You're a crook, like everyone in town thinks you are. You're greedy. You want all the money and don't take care of your employees. You made me wait and don't show me any respect. I'm only a little boy, but I deserve to be treated better. Rich Dad rocked back in his swivel chair, hands up to his chin, and stared at me. Not bad, he said. In less than a month, you sound like most of my employees. What? I asked. Not understanding what he was saying, I continued with my grievance. I thought you were going to keep your end of the bargain and teach me. Instead, you want to torture me. That's cruel. That's really cruel. I am teaching you, Rich Dad said quickly. What have you taught me? Nothing, I said angrily. You haven't even talked to me since I agreed to work for peanuts. 10 cents an hour? I should notify the government about you. We have child labor laws, you know. My dad works for the government, you know. Wow, Rich Dad said. Now you sound just like most of the people who used to work for me. People I've either fired or who have quit. So what do you have to say? I demanded, feeling pretty brave for a little kid. You lied to me. I've worked for you and you have not kept your word. You haven't taught me anything. How do you know that I have not taught you anything? Asked Rich Dad calmly. Well, you never talked to me. I've worked for 3 weeks and you have not taught me anything. Does teaching mean talking or a lecture? Hold on. Ugh. Everybody calls when I'm live. And they know I'm live. Does teaching mean talking or giving a lecture? Rich Dad said. Well, yes, I replied. That's how they teach you in school, son. But that is not how life teaches you. And I would say that life is the best teacher of all. Most of the time, life does not talk to you. It just sort of pushes you around. Each push is life saying, wake up. There's something I wanted you to learn. What is this man talking about? I asked myself silently in my head. Life pushing me around was like talking to me. Now I knew I had to quit my job, you guys. I was talking to someone who needed to be locked up. Shout out. Everybody throw your ones up.
Being number one isn't easy.
Everybody throw your ones up to BW Chambers. He's in here supporting the brand. He's supporting the channel with a blessing. You know, that's what we call it. It's not donations, BW. Thank you for the blessing and your investment in the show, man. Strong first chapter. My second time reading this book. That's right. That's right. We knocking this out. We are 25% done. We only got 15 pages to go. Let me go ahead and add him because he is the same as Before the Billions. They both have blessed the channel. They have both blessed the channel. And let me add him here. And Before the Billions and BW Chambers with $19.99. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for coming in and throwing that on the pot, man. It helps a lot. It helps offset the costs of running this show. All right, let's continue. He's read this book already before everybody. BW Chambers has already read this book. So he's like listening, he's tapping in and listening to it a second time. Powerful first chapter. Yeah, this is 9-year-old boy mad at an adult for thinking he's getting ripped off at 10 cents an hour back in 1956. So he said, man, what is this man talking about? Life teaching? So what the fuck is he talking about? I asked myself, so life pushing me around was life talking to me? Well, now I knew I had to quit my job. I was talking to somebody who needs to be locked up. If you learn life's lessons, you will do well. If not, life will just continue to push you around. People do two things. Everybody that's listening to Shannon right now do two things. Some just let life push them around. Others get angry and push back. But they push back against their boss or their job or their husband or their wife. They do not know it's life that's pushing. I had no idea what he's talking about, you guys. Life pushes all of us around. Some people give up and others fight. A few learn the lesson and move on. They welcome life pushing them around. To these few people, it means that they need and want to learn something. They learn and move on. Most people, however, quit, and a few, like you, fight. Rich Dad stood and shut the creaky old wooden window that needed repair. If you learn this lesson, son, you will grow into a wise, wealthy, and happy young man. If you don't learn this lesson, you will spend your entire life blaming your job, your low pay, or your boss for your problems. You'll live life always hoping that big break that will solve all your money problems. Rich Dad looked over at me to see if I was still listening. His eyes met mine. We stared at each other, communicating through our eyes. Finally, I looked away once I had absorbed his message. I knew he was right. I was blaming him, and I did ask to learn, but I was fighting. Rich Dad continued. Or if you're the kind of person who has no guts, you just give up every time life pushes you. If you're that kind of person, you'll live all your life playing it safe, doing the right things, saving yourself from some event that never actually happens. Then you die a boring old man or woman, if you're listening. You'll have lots of friends who really like you because you were such a nice, hardworking guy. But the truth is, you let life push you into submission. Deep down, you were terrified of taking risks. You really wanted to win, but the fear of losing was greater than the excitement of winning. Deep inside, you and only you will know you didn't go for it. You chose to play it safe. Our eyes met again. You've been pushing me around, I asked. Some people might say that, smiled Rich Dad. I would say that I just gave you a taste of life. What taste of life? I asked, still angry, but now curious and ready to learn. You see, you boys are the first people who have ever asked me to teach them how to make money. I have more than 150 employees, and not one of them has asked me what I know about money. They asked me for a job. They asked me for a paycheck. But they never asked me to teach them about money. So most will spend their best years of their lives working for money, not really understanding what it is that they're actually working for. I sat there listening intently. So when Mike told me you wanted to learn how to make money, I decided to design a course that mirrored real life. I can talk until I was blue in the face, but you wouldn't hear a thing. So I decided to let life push you around a bit so you can hear me. That's why I only paid you 10 cents an hour. So what's the lesson I learned from working for only 10 cents an hour? That you're cheap and you exploit workers? Rich Dad rocked back and laughed heartily. Finally, he said, "You'd best change your point of view, son. Stop blaming me and thinking I'm the problem. If you think I'm the problem, then you have to change me. If you realize that you're the problem, then you could change yourself. Learn something and grow wiser. Most people want everyone else in the world to change but themselves. Let me tell you, it's easier to change yourself than to change everyone else. I don't understand, I said. Don't blame me for your problems, boy, Rich Dad said, growing kind of impatiently. But you only pay me 10 cents. So what are you learning? Rich Dad asked, smiling. That you're cheap? See, you think I'm the problem, Rich Dad said. But you are, I said. Well, keep that attitude and you'll learn nothing. Keep the attitude that I'm the problem, and what choices do you have, bruh? Well, if you don't pay me more or show me more respect and teach me, I'll quit. Well put, Rich Dad said. And that's exactly what most people do. They quit and go looking for another job, a better opportunity, and higher pay, actually thinking that this will solve the problem. In most cases, it won't. So what should I do? I asked. Just take this measly 10 cents an hour and smile? Rich Dad smiled. That's what other people do. That's all they do, waiting for a raise, thinking that more money will solve their problems. Most just accept it. And some take a second job working harder, but again, accepting a small paycheck. I sat staring at the floor, beginning to understand the lesson Rich Dad was presenting. I can sense it was a taste of life. Finally, I looked up and asked, so what will solve the problem? This, he said, leaning forward in his chair and tapping me gently on the head. This stuff between your ears, your brain. It was at that moment, you guys, that Rich Dad shared the pivotal point of view that separated him from his employees and my poor dad, and led him to eventually become one of the richest men in Hawaii, while my highly educated but poor dad struggled financially all his life. It was a singular point of view that made all the difference over a lifetime. Rich Dad explained this point of view over and over, which I call lesson number 1. And that's what we're reading about today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you don't hear my gardener out there. He comes on Mondays and it seems like he just he turns the volume up on that fucking lawnmower when I'm reading. Anyways, I hope that's not coming through this mic. I almost want to tell him just come back Tuesday or something. Anyways, Rich Dad explained this point of view. Hold on, let me get this right. Rich Dad explained this point of view over and over, which I call lesson number 1. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich people have money work for them. On that bright Saturday morning, I learned a completely different point of view from what I had been taught by my poor dad. At the age of 9, I understood that both dads wanted me to learn. Both dads encouraged me to study, but not the same things. My highly educated dad recommended that I do what he did. You know, this is my poor dad. He's highly educated, but he's poor. He's broke, right? He got all the degrees. He got a master's. He's a teacher. He got all the degrees, but he's broke, right? My highly educated dad recommended that I do what he did. Son, I want you to study hard. I like to always point this to the women. Sidebar. I like to always point the whole go to school, get a degree thing to women, because you guys are professional students. You follow blindly and and you get the stupidest degrees on the planet, right? You know, you get degrees in basket weaving, social studies, a bunch of shit that doesn't transfer over to anything. So ladies, when I'm about to read this, I want you to pay attention more than anybody. My highly educated dad, the poor dad, recommended that I did what he did. Son, I want you to study hard, get good grades so you can find a safe, secure job with a big company, and make sure it has excellent benefits. My rich dad wanted me to learn how to make money so I could make it work for me. These lessons I would learn through life with his guidance, not because of a classroom. My rich dad continued my first lessons. I'm glad you got angry about working for 10 cents an hour, son. If you hadn't gotten angry and had simply accepted that 10 cents an hour, I would have to tell you that I could not teach you. You see, true learning takes energy, passion, and a burning desire. Anger is a big part of that formula, for passion is anger and love combined. Passion is anger and love combined. That's a bar. Everybody remember this. Passion is anger and love combined. When it comes to money, Marvelette, can you write that down and send that to me? Text it to me, Lakeisha, or text that to me. Passion is love and anger combined. I need to do a show on that. When it comes to money, most people want to play it safe and feel secure. So passion does not direct them. Fear does. So is that why they'll take jobs with low pay, I ask? Is that why people take jobs and they'll take any kind of pay? They'll take, minimum wage. Am I talking to you right here, ladies and gentlemen? Sidebar. Is that why you take low wage pay? You accept anything? Because when it comes to money, you want to play it safe. You want to feel secure that you're getting that paycheck every Friday is your direct deposit, So passion doesn't drive you. You know what drives you? Fear does. So I asked, is that why people will take jobs with low pay? Hold on one second. Yes, that's exactly why, said Rich Dad. Some people say I exploit people because I don't pay as much as the sugar plantation down the street or the government downtown. I say the people exploit themselves. It's their fear, not mine. But you don't feel you should pay them any more money? Like, per hour, don't you feel that you should be obligated to pay them a little bit more? I don't have to, my rich dad said. And besides, more money would not solve their problems. Just look at your dad. He makes a lot of money and he still can't pay his bills. Most people given more money only get into more debt. I will repeat, because that's a bar. More people, when you give them more money, they get into more debt. PPP loans. When you give them more money, they get into more debt. Tax returns. When you give them more money, they get into more debt. They win the lottery, or you give them a fucking credit card. When you give them more money, they just get into more debt. So that's why the 10 cents an hour, I said, it's a part of the lesson. That's right, son. That's right. You see, your dad went to school. Your poor educated dad, you poor educated ladies, you poor educated young men. Your dad went to school and got an excellent education, got the degree, learned everything, did all the reports, took the test, took the examinations, took your final exams, passed, made your professors happy and shit. That's a great place to learn how to do that. But if you want to learn how to have money work for you, then I'll teach you that, but only if you want to learn. Oh, I skipped the whole fucking paragraph, you guys. Excuse me. Let me take that back. So that's why the 10 cents an hour, I said, it's a part of the lesson. That's right. You see, your dad went to school and got an excellent education so he could get a high paying job. But he still has money problems because he never learned anything about money in school. On top of that, he believes in working for money. Work for your paycheck, right? And you don't, I asked. No, not really, said Rich Dad. If you want to learn to work for money, then stay in school. Ooh, that kind of hit me, especially with me and all this fucking school and education I got. Because that's what they taught me at Cal State Long Beach. If you want to learn how to work for money, stay in school. That is a great place to learn how to do that. But if you want to learn how to have money work for you, then I will teach you that, but only if you're willing to learn. Wouldn't everyone want to learn how to do that? Nope. he said, simply because it's easier to learn to work for money, especially if fear is your primary emotion when the subject of money is discussed. I don't understand, I said with a frown. Don't worry about that, son. Don't worry about that for now. Just know that it's fear that keeps most people working at a job. The fear of not paying their bills, the fear of being fired, the fear of not having enough money, and the fear of starting over. That's the price of studying to learn a professional trade and then working for the money. Most people become a slave to money and then get angry at their boss. Damn. I don't know how y'all feel, and I don't know if I'm reading it as well as I should be, because I'm processing this shit and I'm thinking about what happened to me in my 20s and 30s. You guys understand, I'm 49. I wasted 20 years doing what this shit is. That's why I'm here on YouTube, because I don't want you guys to waste your time to get what I have now until you get to where I am now. I want you to have what I have now, and I live a pretty abundant life, but it didn't happen in my first 20. I want you guys to be here at age fucking 29. 39. Don't wait till you get to 49. I'm reading what he's talking about, and this is like, God damn, is he talking to me? Is he talking to me right now? Because it's hitting me hard. All the education, all the schooling, my dad, sidebar, you got some insight. My father retired from Los Angeles Unified School District after 42 years of service. 42. Not 22, 42 years of service. He started working there in 1966. My father wanted me to go to college and go to liberal arts. My father wanted me to become a teacher. My mother pushed entrepreneurship. Now, the thing is, my parents were both well off. Despite the fact that my father was a teacher, he still made a lot of money, right? But the multi-millionaire he could have been, he was so ingrained. He was just like this poor dad in this book. My father and my mother was fighting against that throughout their entire marriage, because she had a rich mind. She had an entrepreneurship mind, but she was following my father. And now I'm reading this and thinking, God dang. All right, let's continue, guys. I know you guys are getting hit by some of these words that I'm saying. All right, here we go. Wouldn't everyone want to learn how to make money work for them? No, the rich dad said, simply because it's easier to learn to work for money, especially if your fear is your primary emotion when the subject of money is discussed. I don't understand, I said with a frown. Don't worry about that for now. Just know that it's fear that keeps most people working at a job. It's fear that keeps most people working at a job. It's fear that keeps people working at a job. It's fear of you not paying your bills. It's fear of you getting fired. Ain't that the new raise? Keeping your job is the new raise. Keeping your job is who gets a raise these days? If you're not inside a government business, do you get a raise? Do you get evaluated to see how much more money you're going to make on the next time? No, you know what it is now? Keeping your job is the raise. Fear of being fired, the fear of not having enough money, and the fear of starting over. That's the price of studying to learn for a professional trade and then working for money. Most people become a slave to money and then they get angry at their boss. Learning to have money work for you is a completely different course of study, I asked. Absolutely, Rich Dad said. Absolutely. We sat in silence on that beautiful Hawaiian Saturday morning. My friends had just started their little league baseball game, but for some reason, I was now thankful I had decided to work for 10 cents an hour. For some reason, I decided I was happy that I had worked for just 10 cents an hour. I sensed that I was about to learn something my friends wouldn't learn in school. Ready to learn? Rich Dad asks? Absolutely. Friend. Everybody. Narratives, dialogues with Quafinino. Quafinino, salute, bro.
Being number one isn't easy.
Everybody throw your ones up to Quafinino. Everybody throw your ones up to Quafinino. He just blessed the channel. You know, we call it blessings with an investment. And he laid some words on us. Let's see what he says. Quafinino says, yo, you acknowledge your supporters not just because they've contributed monetarily, but by their presence. By the way, I've read this book in college. Thanks for this reminder of humbleness. I'm 3 subs away from my community tab, Quafinino. 1, everybody, please, 10 seconds. Click Quafinino's name, search his name, go to his channel. He needs at least 3 subs. Quafinino, I want to make sure that you get 3 subs before we end this show. Period. I need 3 people to subscribe to him. Listen, we have this thing called social digital currency, right? And you have an unlimited supply of social digital currency in your bank account. It includes likes and follows and subscribes. Likes, follows, and subscribes. You have an unlimited supply of them. I do not know why people hold back in spending their unlimited bank account filled with likes, subscriptions, and follows. Please go subscribe to my man Quafinino. Everybody, please just go subscribe to my man Quafinino. I need to get at least 3. Can you help him? What is it going to hurt you? Nothing. What is it going to? It's going to do everything for him, because once he gets this 500 users, he's going to have his community tab, and we need him to get there. So I need you guys to go do that for me. I'm talking, but I hope that that's what you guys are doing right now. Yes, I'm pausing the book. Yes, I'm pausing the book. The second thing is Quafinino came over here and said, man, you acknowledge your supporters not just because they contribute monetarily, but by their presence. Exactly, because the fact that you guys are here listening to me, you're telling YouTube, yo, this is a decent show. This ain't no bullshit. This ain't no mess. This is something that can actually help me. So yeah, I acknowledge that. And then I acknowledge those that go what I call above and beyond the call of duty. Hoorah. Hoorah. I acknowledge those that go above and beyond the call of duty. And that's people like you, Quafinino, who turn around and put 20 on it. You turn around and you put 20 on it just because you can. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you read this book in college. Read it again with us. You are now our stream sponsor, bro. So I'm going to go ahead and update this to $20. And I'm going to type out this entire thing. Narratives and dialogues with I got to spell it right. KWAUFININO. And then ABDONOBIE. Boom. Let's have that scroll across the screen. Bro, and why is that in black? Let me change my logo to white. Cool. Quafinino. That's what I call him. You know, I don't say the whole thing. Thank you, man. I appreciate the $20 support, bro. Thank you for your support. You didn't have to do it. I say this all the time. You didn't have to do it, but you did it anyway. You didn't have to do it, but you did it. I don't come around. I'm not one of those channels. I don't beg, put something on the super. Man, you guys bless me or not bless me. As long as you guys are getting this information, I'm happy. So thank you so much for your continued support, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. And I hope you got that 3. I hope you got those followers real quick. 2 cents, uncensored. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Who subscribed? I'm going to see. I'm going to go up from where I said it. 2 censored. Who else? I need 2 more people to subscribe. I need 2 more people to subscribe to my man. Can you guys do that for me? I ain't asking for no money. I'm asking if you just hit the subscription button. That's all I'm asking. And then come over here and just say I subscribe to him. Can y'all do that for you, boy? 2 cents uncensored. Subscribe to Quafinino. Can I get 2 more people? And then JT Coin Rings. What up, JT? Hit us with his signature $1.99 super chat. Thank you for the blessing, brother. Thank you for the blessing. RCC subscribe. Can I get one more? Lakeisia subscribe. Lakeisia and Chris Sr. subscribe. Marvelette, do me a favor. Send RCC, Lakeisia, Chris Sr., and what was the name of that one person? 2 Cents Uncensored, a $20 gift card. Each of them a $20 gift card, all 4 of them. Actually, I'm sorry. Send RCC a $150 gift card and send Lakeisia and 2 Cents, what was it? 2 Cents Uncensored and Chris Sr. a $20 gift card. Lakeisia, Chris Sr. and 2 Cents Uncensored a $20 gift card, and then send RCC a $150 gift card. Can you do that for me? Thank you, love. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for pulling up, Quafinino. And you guys don't have to email me. She's gonna send that automatically. In fact, let me make sure. I'll do it this way. I'll just send her a message. Marvelette, can you send RCC a $150 gift card? Send Lakeisia a $20 gift card. Send Chris Sr. a $20 gift card, and then somehow get in touch with a user named 2 Cents Uncensored. What was it? Let me find it again. 2 Cents Uncensored. The username is 2 Cents Uncensored. 2 Cents Uncensored. Please send us the email to soldiers@shannonrawls.com. Send that to soldiers@shannonrawls.com. All right. So I want 2 Cents Uncensored to have a $20 gift card. I want Lakeisia to have a $20 gift card. I want Chris Sr. to have a $20 gift card. And I want you to send a $150 gift card to, actually scratch that. Send a $200 gift card. A $200 gift card to RCC, because he's been blessing the channel. And he just blessed me while I'm recording it. Send RCC a $200 gift card, because he's always blessing the channel. Can you do that for me? They don't need to send you anything. Just send it to them. They'll just get it. Thank you, love. Send. All right. That's how we get down over here, y'all. Everybody. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Everybody throw your ones up. Everybody throw your ones up. Everybody throw your ones up. Everybody keep throwing your ones.
Being number one isn't easy.
Cam Rob.
Being number one isn't easy.
Cam Rob.
Being number one isn't easy.
RCC, listen, I know, listen, for those that's here reading the book, I'm sorry, but we take care of people who take care of us. That's kind of how, that's a universal law. We got 3 universal laws. This one here is called the Law of Reciprocity. People bless me. I got to bless people. I didn't know that RCC was going to come in here and drop 200 on the channel. I had no idea. RCC already gave me like 200 last week. I didn't know he was going to do that. All I knew is that Quafinino blessed the channel with 20 and said, man, I just need 3 subscribes. I think he got that. The people that acknowledge that they did that, we're giving out gift cards. I've never met Quafinino, by the way. I've never met RCC. I've never shaken their hands in person. But I wanted these brothers to, if they help me, so I help them. And then the people that subscribed get something and didn't even know they were going to get it. They get something and didn't even know they were going to get it. As far the $20 gift card is no money out, free clothing. Shipping is free. They just got to pick something that they like and then hit the button and it's done. Not 1 penny is going to be collected from them. That's just how we work over here. So shout out to the people that supported Quafinino. Shout out to Quafinino for supporting the channel. And then RCC72 Detroit came in with the $200 blessing. He is now, as always, it seems, the stream sponsor. I could keep the 20 up and just add a 0 and then go over here and change this to my guy. I really call him my brother, RCC 72 Detroit, who blessed the channel. RCC, you the man. You already know it. I don't have to repeat it. You the man. We on chapter 1 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and you in here showing people how to do it. This is how it works. And by the way, you guys, why can RCC? Because he keeps getting contracts that's making him a bunch of bread. And guess what's going to happen? More and more contracts is going to go. Do you see how you guys just witnessed the law of reciprocity in real time? You witnessed the law of reciprocity in real time. Quafanino said, look, man, here's $20. But I just, I appreciate what you're doing. I wish I had this. He didn't ask me to get him those subscribers. He gave that to me. I asked the people to subscribe. He got the subscribers. The people that subscribed got a gift card. The people that got a gift card blessed the channel with 200. I mean, and so do you see how it went full circle? You guys are watching Law of Reciprocity in real time while you're sitting there and you're not blessing those people in your life. Not me. Forget the channel. I'm talking about the people in your life. You can help people that can't necessarily help you back, and you don't realize that somebody else is going to bless you. So shout out to you guys, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, my man JT Coin Rings, for coming in with his blessing of $1.99. That blessing of because that's $1.99. That was his money. He didn't have to put that over here. I appreciate that just as much. Thank you, JT Coin Rings. Everybody, throw your ones up. We're going to continue.
Being number one isn't easy.
We're going to continue to read. All right. My man, JT Coin Rings and RCC. You guys are amazing. And Javaro subscribed. That's right. Let's support the people that support us. All right. We're in chapter 1 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I don't even remember where I left off, but I know it was somewhere good. Let's see. Here we go. Learning to have money work for you is a completely different course of study? Absolutely, the rich dad answered. Absolutely. We sat in silence on that beautiful Hawaiian Saturday morning. My friends had just started their Little League baseball games, but for some reason, I now was thankful that I decided to work for just 10 cents an hour. I sensed that I was about to learn something my friends wouldn't learn in school. Ready to learn? Asked the rich dad. Absolutely, I said with a grin. I have kept my promise. I've been teaching you from afar, my rich dad said. At 9 years old, you've gotten a taste of what it feels like to work for money. Just multiply your last month by 50 years, and you will have an idea of what most people spend their life doing, working for money. I don't understand, I said. How did you feel waiting in line to see me this morning? Because remember, I just got to give some backstory. Remember, about 3 pages back, when he went to go meet his rich dad, he had to wait 45 minutes, watch other people come faster and go faster than him. It took him a full hour. He got there at 8. He didn't see him until 9 o'clock. So now he's asking, how did it feel waiting in line to meet with me, said the rich dad, wants to get hired and wants to ask for more money. Terrible, I said. If you choose to work for money, that is what life will be like, rich dad said. And how did you feel when Mrs. Martin dropped 3 dimes in your hand for 3 full hours of work? It felt like it wasn't enough. It seemed like nothing. I was disappointed, I said. And that is how most employees feel when they look at their paychecks, especially after all the taxes and other deductions are taken out. At least you got 100%. You mean most workers don't get paid everything? I asked with amazement. Heavens, no, said Rich Dad. The government always takes its share first. How do they do that? Taxes, said the Rich Dad. You're taxed when you earn. You're taxed when you spend. You're taxed when you save. You're taxed when you die. Why do people let the government do that to them? The rich don't. The rich don't, said Rich Dad with a smile. The poor and the middle class do. I'll bet I'll bet you that I earn more than your dad, yet he pays more in taxes. Oh, I'll bet you that I earn more than your dad, but he pays more in taxes than I do. How can that be? I asked. At my age, that made no sense to me. Why would someone let the government do that to them? Rich Dad rocked slowly and silently in his chair, just looking at me. You ready to learn? He asked. I nodded my head slowly. As I said, there is a lot to learn. Learning how to save money, learning how to have money work for you is a lifetime study. Most people go to college for 4 years. I'm talking to you guys now. Listen up. To the 20 plus people that's listening to me, listen to this one. Most people go to college, university, Cal State this, the state of that, wherever you went to school for 4 years, and their education ends. Done. You graduate. You walk the stage, cap and gown, you get your diploma, you're done. Pack your shit and go. I already know that my study of money will continue over my lifetime, simply because the more I find out I need to know. Most people never study the subject of money. They go to work, they get their paycheck, they balance their checkbooks, and that's it. Then they wonder why they have money problems. They think that more money will solve the problem, and they don't realize it's their lack of financial education that is the problem. It's your lack of financial education that's the problem. I know you think, sidebar, I know you think by getting a raise will make everything better. I know you think by changing job positions will make everything better. I know you don't believe what Biggie Smalls told you all. I know you don't believe what the notorious B.I.G. said. I don't even need to say the quote. You know, it's you're already saying it in your head. I know you don't believe that quote, but let's continue and learn together. So my dad has tax problems because he doesn't understand money, I asked, confused. Look, said the rich dad, taxes are just one small section of learning how to have money work for you. Today, I just wanted to find out if you still have the passion to learn about money. Most people don't. They want to go to school, learn a profession, have fun at their work, and earn lots of money. One day they wake up. I use that term a lot. One day they wake up with big money problems, and then they can't stop working. Now they on the rat race. They jump on the treadmill. They jump, and they can't stop working. That's the price of only knowing how to work for money instead of studying how to have money work for you. So do you still have passion to learn? Asked the rich dad. I nodded my head. Good, said rich dad. Now get back to work. This time, I will pay you nothing. This time, I will pay you nothing. What? I asked in amazement. You heard me. Nothing. You will work the same 3 hours every Saturday, but this time you will not be paid 10 cents an hour. You said you wanted to learn not to work for money, so I'm not going to pay you anything. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I've already had this conversation with Mike's son, and he's already working, dusting and stacking canned goods for free. You'd better hurry and get back there. But that's not fair, I shouted. You got to pay something. You said you wanted to learn, right? If you don't learn this now, you'll grow up to be like the two women and the older man sitting in my living room. Where'd it go? Oh, let me start over. You said you wanted to learn how to make money work for you. If you don't learn this right now at 9 years old, you'll grow up and be just like the two women and that older man that's sitting in my living room working for money and hoping I don't fire them. Or like your dad, earning lots of money only to be in debt up to his eyeballs, hoping more money will solve the problem. If that's what you want, son, I'll go back to our original deal of 10 cents an hour. Or you can do what most adults do, complain that there is not enough to pay, quit, and go look for another job. But what do I do? Rich Dad tapped me on the head. Use this, he said. If you use it well, you will soon thank me for giving you an opportunity, and you will grow into a rich man. I stood there, still not believing what a raw deal I was handed. I came to ask for a raise, and somehow I was instead working for nothing. Rich Dad tapped me on the head again. Use this. Now get out of here and get back to work. Lesson number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Let's go. The rich don't work for money. RCC 72 Detroit don't work for money. Shannon Rawls don't work for money. You will soon not work for money. I didn't tell my poor dad that I wasn't being paid. He wouldn't have understood. And I didn't want to try to explain something I didn't understand myself. For 3 more weeks, Mike and I worked 3 hours every Saturday for nothing. The work didn't bother me, and the routine got easier. But it was the missed baseball games and not being able to afford to buy a new comic book that got to me. Rich Dad stopped by at noon on the 3rd week. We heard his truck pull up in the parking lot and sputter when the engine was turned off. He entered the store and greeted Mrs. Martin with a hug. After finding out how things were going in the store, he reached into the ice cream freezer, pulled out 2 bars, paid for them, and signaled to Mike and me. Let's go for a walk, boys. We crossed the street. We dodged a few cars, and we walked across a large grassy field where there were a few adults who were playing softball, right? Sitting down at the lone picnic table, he handed Mike and me the 2 ice cream bars, the 2 treats. How's it going, boys? Okay, Mike said. I nodded in agreement. Learning anything yet? The rich dad asked. He said. Mike and I looked at each other and shrugged our shoulders and shook our head in unison. No, not really. Avoiding one of life's biggest traps. All right, let's learn about this, you guys. Well, you boys had better start thinking. You're staring at one of life's biggest lessons. If you learn it, you'll enjoy life of great freedom and security. If you don't, you'll wind up like Miss Martin and most of the people playing softball in this park. They work very hard for little money, clinging to the illusion of job security and looking forward to a 3-week vacation each year and maybe a skimpy little pension/retirement check after 45 years of service. If that excites you, I'll give you a raise to 25 cents an hour. But these are good, hardworking people. Are you making fun of them? I demanded. A smile came over Rich Dad's face. Mrs. Martin is like a mother to me. I would never be that cruel. I may sound unkind because I'm doing my best to point out something to the 2 of you. I want you to expand your point of view so you can see something most people never have the benefit of seeing because their vision is too narrow. Most people never see the trap that they're set in. Mike and I sat there, uncertain of his message. He sounded kind of cruel, yet we could sense that he was trying to drive home a point. With a smile, Rich Dad said, "Doesn't that 25 cents an hour sound good? Doesn't it make your heart beat a little faster?" I shook my head no, but it really did, right? 25 cents an hour would be big bucks to me in 1956, 9 years old. Okay, I'll pay you a dime an hour, Rich Dad said with a sly grin. Now my heart started to race. My brain was screaming, take it, take it. I could not believe what I was hearing. Still, I said nothing. Okay, how about $2 an hour? Woo! $2 an hour in 1956 for a 9-year-old boy in Hawaii. My little brain and heart nearly exploded. It was 1956, and being paid $2 an hour would have made me the richest kid in the world. I couldn't imagine earning that kind of money. I wanted to say yes. I wanted the deal. I could picture a new bicycle. I could picture a new baseball glove, and the adoration of my friends when I flashed some cash. Right? Y'all know what that's like. On top of that, Jimmy and his rich friends could never call me poor again. But somehow, my mouth stayed shut. The ice cream that the rich dad had gave us had melted and was running down my hand. Rich Dad was looking at two boys staring back at him, eyes wide open and brains empty. He was testing us. He knew there was a part of our emotions that wanted to take the deal. He understood that every person has a weak and needy part of their soul that can be bought. And he knew that every individual also had part of their soul that was resilient and could never be bought. It was only a question of which one was stronger. Okay, $5 an hour. $5 an hour. He could move out of his mama's house at that price in 1956, y'all. 9 years old. Suddenly, I was silent. Something had changed. The offer was too big and too ridiculous. Not many grown-ups in 1956 made more than that. But quickly, my temptation disappeared and calm set in. Slowly, I turned to my left to look at Mike. He looked back at me. The part of my soul that was weak and needy was silenced. The part of me that had no price took over. Mike had gotten to that point too. People's lives are controlled by two emotions, fear and greed. Good, Rich Dad said softly. Most people have a price, and they have a price because of human emotions named fear and greed. First, the fear of being without money motivates us to work really hard. I'm talking to you guys that's listening to me right now. The fear of being without money. I don't know how much money's in your checking account right now. Sidebar. I don't know how much money's in your checking account right now. Right now, as we speak. I don't know how much is in your savings. I don't, over at Bank of America or Chase, or maybe you have Wells Fargo. I don't know how much money's in there. But the fear of being without it, the fear of that bank account, your checking account, your debit card, having no money on it, zero, motivates you to work hard. And then once we get that paycheck, greed or desire starts us thinking about all the wonderful things that money can buy. You could go shopping now. You could pay those bills. The pattern is then set. What pattern, I asked? The pattern of get up, go to work, pay bills, get up, go to work, pay bills. People's lives are forever controlled by two emotions, fear and greed. Offer them more money and they continue the cycle by increasing their spending. That is what is called the rat race. There is another way, Mike asked. Yes, son. But only a few people find it. And what is that way, Mike asked? That's what I hope you boys will learn as you work and study with me. That is why I took away all forms of pay. Any hints, Mike asks? We're kind of tired of working hard, especially for nothing. Well, the first step is telling the truth, said Rich Dad. We haven't been lying, I said. I did not say you were lying. I said to tell the truth, Dad retorted. Okay, the truth about what? How you're feeling, Rich Dad said. You don't have to say it to anyone else. Just admit it to yourself. You mean the people in this park, the people who work for you, Miss Martin, they don't do that? I doubt it, said Rich Dad. Instead, they feel the fear of not having money. They don't confront it logically. They react emotionally. They react emotionally. They react emotionally instead of using their heads, said Rich Dad. Then they get a few bucks in their hands, and again, the emotions of joy and the emotion of desire and the emotion of greed takes over. And again, they react instead of thinking. So their emotions control their brain. That's correct, said Rich Dad. Instead of admitting the truth about how they feel, they react to their feelings and fail to think. They feel the fear, so they go to work, hoping that money will soothe that fear, but it doesn't. It continues to haunt them, and they return to work, hoping again that money will calm their fears. And again, it doesn't. Fear keeps them in this trap of working, earning money, working, earning money, working, earning money, hoping the fear will go away. But every day they get up, and that old fear wakes up with them. For millions of people, that old fear keeps them awake all night long, causing a night of turmoil and worry. So they get up and go to work, hoping that a paycheck will kill that fear gnawing at their soul. Money is running their lives, you guys, and they refuse to tell the truth about that. Money is in control of their emotions and their soul.
Welcome to the real world.
Shout out to Rico 1911. Yo, just stop. Yo to the Nupes. Ha. Yo to the Nupes. What up, Rico? Appreciate you joining the team, bro. Thank you for joining the army. Thank you for joining, man. We're just knocking out this book. We in chapter 1. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. All right, let's continue. Where did I leave off at? Rich Dad sat quietly, letting his words sink in. Mike and I heard what he said, but didn't really, understand fully what he was talking about. I just knew that I often wondered why grown-ups hurried off to work every damn morning. It didn't seem like much fun, and they never looked happy, but something kept them going. Realizing we had absorbed as much as possible of what he was talking about, Rich Dad said, I want you boys to avoid that trap, the rat race trap. That is really what I wanted to teach you, not just to be rich, but being rich does not solve the problem. It doesn't? I asked. No, it doesn't. It doesn't solve the problem. Let me explain the other emotions. Desire. Some call it greed. Some call desire greed. But I prefer desire. It's not greed. It's perfectly normal to desire something better, prettier, more fun, more exciting, right? That's how we look at at men and women. Like when you're single, it's you desire something better and prettier, more fun and exciting, right? In a person. So people also work for money because of desire. They desire money for the joy they think it can buy. But the joy of money, the joy that money brings is often short-lived. And they soon need more money for more joy and more pleasure and more comfort and more security. So they keep working, thinking money will soothe their souls and that they're troubled by fear and desire. But money can't do that, you guys. Even rich people do this, Mike said. Rich people included. In fact, the reason many rich people are rich isn't because of desire, but because of fear. They believe that money can eliminate the fear of being poor, so they amass tons of it, only to find that the fear actually gets worse. Kanye West. The countless wealthy people we know that's self-deleted themselves. They believe that money can eliminate the fear of being poor, so they amass tons of it, only to find that fear gets worse. Now they fear losing the money. I have friends who keep working even though they have plenty of money. I know people who have millions who are more afraid now than they were when they were poor. They're afraid of losing it all. The fear that drove them to get rich got worse. That weak and needy part of their soul is actually screaming louder They don't want to lose the big houses. They don't want to lose the cars and the high life money has bought them. They worry about what their friends would say if they lost all their money. Many are emotionally desperate and neurotic, although they look rich and have more money. So, is a poor man happier? Nope, I don't think so. The avoidance of money is just as psychotic as being attached to money. As if on cue, the town derelict went past our table, stopping by the large rubbish can and rummaging around it. The three of us watched him with great interest when before we probably would have just ignored him. Rich Dad pulled $1 out of his wallet and gestured to the old man. Seeing the money, the derelict came over, or the homeless, as we call it now, came over immediately and took the $1 bill. He thanked the rich dad profusely and hurried off, ecstatic with his good fortune. You know, he's not much different from most of my employees, the rich dad said. I've met so many people who say, oh, I'm not interested in money, yet they'll work at a job for 8 hours a day. That's a denial of the truth. If they weren't interested in money, then why are they working? That kind of thinking is probably more psychotic than a person who hoards money. As I sat there listening to my rich dad, my mind flashed back to the countless times my own dad said, I'm not interested in money. He said those words often. He also covered himself by always saying, I work because I love my job. So many people say, oh, I'm not interested in money, yet they'll work at a job for 8 hours a day. So what do? I asked. Not work for money until all traces of fear and greed are gone? No, that would be a waste of your time, said the rich dad. Emotions are what make us human. The word emotion stands for energy in motion. The word emotion stands for energy in motion. I never heard that way before. Have you guys heard it that way before? The word emotion stands for energy in motion. Be truthful about your emotions and use your mind and emotions in your favor, not against yourself. Whoa, said Mike. Don't worry about what I just said. It will make more sense in years to come. Just be an observer right now. You're 9 years old and it's 1956. Just be an observer, not a reactor to your emotions. Most people do not know that it's their emotions that are doing the thinking. Oh, that's a bar. Most people do not know that it is their emotions that do their thinking. Your emotions are your emotions, but you have got to learn to do your own thinking. Can you give me an example? I asked. Sure, Rich Dad said. Here's an example of what we're talking about. When a person says, I need to find a job, it's most likely an emotion doing the thinking. Fear of not having money generates that thought. But people do need money if they have to have their bills paid, I asked, or I said. Well, sure they do, smiled my rich dad. All I'm saying is that the fear that is all too often doing the thinking. I don't understand, said my friend Mike. For example, said Rich Dad, if the fear of not having money, if the fear of not having enough money arises, instead of immediately running out to get a job, they instead might ask themselves this question: will a job be the best solution to this fear over the long run? In my opinion, the answer is no. A job is a really short-term solution to a long-term problem. But my dad is always saying, stay in school, get a job, get good grades so you can find a safe, secure job. I interjected somewhat. Yes, I understand he says that, said Rich Dad. Most people recommend that, in fact, and it's a good path for most people, but people make that recommendation primarily out of fear. You mean my dad says that because he's afraid? Yeah. Sorry to say. He's terrified. Your father, your poor daddy, with all them degrees, he tells you to go out and get a good education and so you can get a good job because he's terrified that you won't earn enough money and won't fit into society. Don't get me wrong. He loves you, right? He wants the best for you. I too believe in education and a job are important, but it won't handle the fear. You see, that same fear that makes him get up in the morning to earn a few bucks is the fear that is causing him to be so fanatical about you going to school. So what do you recommend, Rich Dad? Listen, I want to teach you to master the towers of the tower. No, I'm sorry. I want to teach you to master the power of money instead of being afraid of it. They don't teach that in school. And if you don't learn it, you will become a slave to money. It was finally starting to make sense. He wanted us to widen our views and to see what the Miss Martins of this world couldn't see. He used examples that sounded cruel at the time, but I've never forgotten them. My vision widened that day, and I began to see the trap that lay ahead for most people. You see, we're all employees ultimately. We just work at different levels, said my rich dad. I just want you boys to have a chance to avoid the trap caused by those two emotions, fear and desire. Use them in your favor, son, not against you. That is what I want to teach you. I'm not interested in just teaching you to make a pile of money. That won't handle the fear of desire. If you don't first handle fear and desire and you get rich, you'll only be highly paid slave. You'll only be a highly paid slave. Is that what some of you guys are? Highly paid slaves? So how do we avoid the trap, Dad? I asked. The main cause of poverty or financial struggle is fear and ignorance, not the economy or the government or the rich people. It's self-inflicted fear and ignorance that keep people trapped. So you boys go to school and get your college degrees, and I'll teach you how to stay out of that trap. The pieces of the puzzle were appearing to me. My highly educated dad, my poor dad, the highly educated one, had a great education and a great career, but school never told him how to handle money or his fear of it. It became clear that I could learn different and important things from two different fathers. So you've been talking about the fear of not having money. How does the desire for money affect our thinking? Mike said. How did you feel when I tempted you with a pay raise? Did you notice your desires rising? When I told you I'll pay you 25 cents an hour, when I told you I'll pay you $2 an hour, did you notice your desires rising? We nodded our heads, yes. By not giving into your emotions, you were able to delay your reactions and think. That is important. We will always have emotions of fear and greed. From here on in, it's imperative for you to use those emotions to your advantage and for the long term to not let your emotions control your thinking. Most people use fear and greed against themselves. That's the start of ignorance. Most people live their lives chasing paychecks, pay raises, and job security because because of the emotions of desire of fear, not really questioning where those emotions driven thoughts are leading them. It's just like the picture of a donkey dragging a cart with its owner dangling a carrot in front of his nose. The donkey's owner may be going where he wants to, but the donkey is chasing an illusion. Tomorrow there will only be another carrot for the donkey. That's it. Just one little carrot. So you mean the moment I picture a new baseball glove, candy, toys, that's like a carrot to a donkey? For you grown folk, when you think of that car, that Louis Vuitton purse, that Gucci belt, Is that like a carrot to a donkey? Yes. And as you get older, your toys get more expensive. A new car, a boat, and a big house to impress your friends, said the rich dad. Fear pushes you out the door and desire calls to you. That's the trap. So what's the answer, Mike said? What intensifies fear and desire is ignorance, you guys. That is why rich people with lots of money often have more fear the richer they get. Money is the carrot, the illusion. If the donkey could see the whole picture, it might rethink its choice to chasing that damn carrot being dangled in front of him. Rich Dad went on to explain that a human's life is a struggle between ignorance and illumination. He explained that once a person stops searching for information and self-knowledge, ignorance sets in. Let me read that again. That's a bar. That's the whole purpose of my channel. That's the whole purpose of this show, Rich People Read. Once a person stops searching for information and self-knowledge, ignorance sets in. That struggle is a moment-to-moment decision to learn to open or close one's mind. Look, school is very important. You go to school to learn a skill or a profession to become a contributing member of society, right? Every culture needs teachers, and we need doctors and mechanics and artists and cooks. We need business people. We need police officers, right? We need the firefighters and the soldiers. Schools train them so society can thrive and flourish, said the rich dad. Unfortunately, for many people, school is the end, not the beginning. There was a long silence. Rich Dad was smiling. I didn't comprehend everything he said that day, but as with most great teachers, his words continued to teach me for years. I've been a little cruel today, said Rich Dad, but I want you to always remember this talk. I want you to always think of Mrs. Martin over at the store. And I want you to always remember that the donkey, I always want you to remember the donkey. Never forget that fear and desire can lead you into life's biggest trap if you're not aware of them controlling your thinking. To spend your life living in fear, never exploring your dreams, is cruel. To work hard for money, thinking that it will buy you things that will make you happy, is also cruel. To wake up in the middle of the night terrified about paying bills is a horrible way to live. That's some of you guys right now, sidebar. To wake up in the middle of the night thinking about some of these bills that's on your head right now. Some of you guys got some bills that you running from, them phone calls. You running from them phone calls. You know they want their money. That's a terrible way to live. That's a terrible way to live. Terrifying. What up, DC 205? To wake up in the middle of the night terrified about paying bills is a horrible way to live. To live a life dictated by the size of your paycheck is not really living a life. Thinking that a job makes you more secure is lying to yourself. That's a bar. Can I say it again? Thinking that a job makes you secure is lying to yourself. That's cruel, and that's the trap I want you to avoid, son. I've seen how money runs people's lives. Don't let that happen to you. Please don't let money run your life. A softball kind of rolled up under our table, right? Rich Dad picked it up and he threw it back. So what does ignorance have to do with greed and fear, I asked. Well, it's because it is ignorance about money that causes so much greed and fear, said Rich Dad. Let me give you some examples. A doctor wanting more money to better provide for his family, he raises his fees, right? And say not even a doctor so much. Sidebar. Let's say it's what you guys do. Say you do something. Say you have a profession, a service profession, right? And you want to provide better for your family. So you raise your fees. But we're talking about a doctor right now. But I'm sure you can juxtapose it to your own lives, all right? Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're a plumber. Maybe maybe you're a masseuse. Whatever you are. All right. A doctor wanting more money to better provide for his family raises his fees. By raising his fees, it makes healthcare more expensive for everybody. It hurts the poor people the most. So they have worse health than those with money. Because the doctors raise their fees, the attorneys raise their fees. Because the attorneys have gone up, school teachers want to raise, which raises our taxes, and so on and so on and so forth. Soon there will be such a horrifying gap between the rich and the poor that chaos will break out and another great civilization will collapse. History proves that great civilizations collapse when the gap between the haves and the have-nots is too great. Sadly, America is on that same course because we haven't learned from history. We only memorize historical dates and names, not the actual lesson that they taught. Well, aren't prices supposed to go up? By the way, you guys, this is him talking to his dad in 1956 when 10 cents an hour was okay. Now we in 2022 and what are we paying? $6 a gallon? You know, and the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Come on. But I asked him, aren't prices supposed to go up? Well, in an educated society with a well-run government, prices should actually come down. Of course, that is only true in history. Prices go up because of greed and fear caused by ignorance. If schools taught people about money, there would be more money and lower prices. But schools focus only on teaching people to work for money, not how to harness money's power. But don't we have business schools, like Mike asked, and haven't you encouraged me to go for my MBA? Yeah, Rich Dad said, but all too often business schools train employees to become sophisticated bean counters. Heaven forbid a bean counter takes over a business. All they do is look at numbers, fire people, and kill the business. I know this because I hire bean counters. All they think about is cutting costs and raising prices, which cause more problems. Bean counting is important. Don't get me wrong. I wish more people knew it, but it too is not the whole picture, Rich Dad added angrily. So, is there an answer? Mike asked. Yes, there is an answer. Learn to use your emotions to think. Learn to use your emotions to think, not to think with your emotions. Bar. Ladies, women, ladies, girls, females. Learn to use your emotions to think, not to think with your emotions. When you boys mastered your emotions by agreeing to work for free, I knew there was hope. When you again resist your emotions, when I tempted you with more money, you were learning to think in spite of being emotionally charged. That's the first step. Why is that step so important, I ask? We down to the last 2 pages, y'all. Well, that's up to you to find out, son. If you want to learn, I'll take you boys into the Briar Patch, a place almost everyone else avoids. If you go with me, if you go with me, you'll let go of the idea of working for money and instead learn how to have money work for you. And what will we get if we go with you? What if we learn from you? What will we get? I asked. The same thing Brer Rabbit got, said Dad, referring to the classic children's story. Is there a Briar Patch? I asked. Yes, said Rich Dad. The Briar Patch is our fear and greed. Confronting fear, weakness, and neediness by choosing our own thoughts is the way out. Choosing our thoughts, Mike asked. Yes, son. Choosing what we think rather than reacting to our emotions. Instead of just getting up and going to work like many of you do, instead of just getting up and going to work like many of you do, instead of just getting up and going to work because not having the money to pay your bills is scaring you, ask yourself Is working harder at this the best solution to my problem? Most people are too afraid to rationally think things through and instead run out the door to a job that they hate. The tar baby is in control. That's what I mean by chasing your thoughts. And how do we do that, Mike asks. That's what I will teach you. I'll teach you to have a choice of thoughts rather than a knee-jerk reaction, like gulping down your morning coffee and running out the door. Remember, son, remember what I said before. A job is only a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Most people have only one problem in mind, and it's short-term. It's the bills at the end of the month. The tar baby. That's what they call the bills. Money controls their lives, or should I say fear and ignorance about money controls it. So they do as their parents did. They get up every day and they go work for money, not taking the time to ask the questions, is there another way? Their emotions now control their thinking, not their heads. Can you tell the difference between emotions thinking and your brain thinking? Oh, yes. I hear it all the time, said the rich dad. I hear things like, well, everyone has to work, or the rich are crooks, or I'll get another job. I deserve the raise. You can't push me around, or I like this job because it's nice and secure, or, but you know, I hear those things all the time, but no one asks, is there something I'm missing here, which would break through the emotional thought and give you time to think clearly? As we headed back to the store, Rich Dad explained that the rich really did make money. They did not work for it. They make money. They don't work for it. Rich people make money. They don't work for money. He went on to explain that when Mike and I were casting 5-cent pieces out of lead, thinking that we were making money, we were very close to thinking the way the rich thinks. The problem was that creating money is legal for the government and the banks to do, but illegal for us. There are legal ways to create money from nothing, he told us. Rich Dad went on to explain that the rich know that money is an illusion, truly like the carrot in front of the donkey. It's only out of fear and greed that the illusion of money is held together by billions of people who believe that money is real. It's not. Money is really made up. It's only because of the illusion of confidence and ignorance that ignorance of the masses that this house of cards stands. He talked about the gold standard that America was on, right? And that each dollar bill was actually a silver certificate. What concerned him was the rumor that we would someday go off the gold standard and our dollars would no longer be backed by something tangible. Ooh, like cryptocurrency? This is what he said in 1956. The book was written in 1997. Bitcoin wasn't even invented yet. Did he have a vision of something? Are we reading prophecy right now, you guys? He said, if that happens, boys, all hell would break loose. The poor, the middle class, and the ignorant will have their lives ruined simply because they will continue to believe that money is real and that the company they work for or the government will look after them. Handouts. Government, please take care of me. Please, somebody, Social Security, PPP, please help me out. That's how a lot of people, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna talk about relationships and how some women think that, they don't have the reality of money, especially when it comes to dating and mating. We really did not understand what he was saying that day, but over the years, it made more sense. Seeing what others miss. As he climbed into his pickup truck outside of his convenience store, Rich Dad said, keep working, boys. The sooner you forget about needing a paycheck, the easier your adult life will be. Keep using your brain, work for free, and soon your mind will show you ways of making money far beyond what I could ever pay you. You will see things that other people never see. Most people never see the opportunities because they're looking for money and security. So that's all they get. The moment you see one opportunity, you'll see them for the rest of your life. The moment you do that, I'll teach you something else. Learn this, and you'll avoid one of life's biggest traps. Mike and I picked up our things from the store and waved goodbye to Miss Martin. We went back to the park, to the same picnic bench, and spent several more hours thinking and talking. We spent the next week at school thinking and talking too. For the 2 more weeks, we kept thinking and talking and working for free. At the end of the second Saturday, I was again saying goodbye to Miss Martin and looking at the comic book stand with a longing gaze. The hard thing about not getting 30 cents every Saturday was that I didn't have any money to buy a comic book. Suddenly, as Miss Martin said goodbye to Mike and me, I saw her do something I'd never seen her do before. Miss Martin was cutting the front page of the comic book in half. She kept the top half of the comic book cover and threw out the rest of the book into a large cardboard box. When I asked her what she did with the comic book, she said, I throw them away. I give the top half of the cover back to the comic book distributor for credit when he brings in new comics. He's coming here in an hour. Mike and I waited for an hour. Soon the distributor arrived, and I asked him if we could have the comic books. To my delight, he said, you can have them if you work for this store and do not resell them. Remember our old business partnership? Well, Mike and I revived it. Using a spare room in Mike's basement, we began piling hundreds of comic books in that room. Soon, our comic book library was open to the public. We hired Mike's younger sister, who loved to study, to be the head librarian. She charged each kid 10 cents admission to the library that we created, which was open from 2:30 to 4:30 every day after school. The customers, the children of the neighborhood, could read as many comics as they wanted to in 2 hours. It was a bargain for them since a comic costs 10 cents and they could read 4, 5, or 6 in just 2 hours. Mike's sister would check the kids as if they left to make sure they weren't borrowing any comic books. She also kept the books, logging in how many kids showed up each day, who they were, and any comments they might have. Mike and I averaged $9.50 per week over a 3-month period. We paid his sister $1 a week and allowed her to read the comics for free, which she surely did since she was already studying, always studying. Which she rarely did since she was always studying. Mike and I kept our agreement by working in the store every Saturday and collecting all the comic books from the different stores. We kept our agreement to the distributor by not selling any comic books. We burned them once they got too tattered up. We tried opening a branch office, but we could never quite find someone as trustworthy and dedicated as Mike's sister. At an early age, we found out how hard it was to find good stuff. 3 months after our little library first opened, a fight broke out in the room. Some bullies, from another neighborhood pushed their way in, and Mike's dad suggested we shut down the business. So our comic book business shut down, and we stopped working on Saturdays at the convenience store. But the rich dad was excited because he had new things he wanted to teach us. He was happy because we had learned our first lesson so well. We learned to make money work for us. By not getting paid for our work at the store, we were forced to use our imagination to identify an opportunity to make money, not earn money, make money. By starting our own business, the comic book library, we were in control of our own finances. and not dependent on an employer. The best part was that our business generated money for us even when we weren't physically there. Our money worked for us. Instead of paying us money, Rich Dad had given us so much more. And that is chapter 1. Ladies and gentlemen, how you feel? How you feel? Oh my God, that was bar. The rich don't work for money. Let's turn here, let's close this. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. These kids worked for 10 cents an hour and was irate that they didn't work for more. They demanded a raise. The poor dad told him, go get a raise. He should tell the government that we're gonna have to start having discussion panels after these chapters, y'all. Y'all can sit up and listen to me, but I need to hear what some of you guys think. We're gonna have to start doing some discussions. I mean, the kids basically was pissed off because they was making 10 cents an hour, felt like slaves, and the poor dad was like, man, I might tell the government this is child labor, slave laws and all that bullshit, right? The rich dad said, look, quit. If you have a problem with it, quit. You can quit. But that's where the lesson stops. RCC, why you just
Being number one isn't easy.
RCC just put 200 RCC, and now he turned around and put 10 more. Everybody, take a look at this, what RCC just wrote. Put this over here. He says, watch this video to learn about money. Everybody, click that and bookmark it. Click the link or highlight the link and bookmark it. Click the link that RCC just put up and bookmark that. That needs to be a video that you watch. If RCC says watch the video, watch the video. It's not a question. It's not a request. It's not an option. Click the link that RCC just put up and watch the video. What else you gonna do? Watch fucking music videos, porn. Watch the video. Everybody, throw your ones up to RCC.
Being number one isn't easy.
Imagine that, man. You complaining. Your poor dad tells you to demand more money. You know y'all got some poor dads in your family. Oh no, don't you let your boss do that. Your boss, they did what? Oh, you need to go to HR. You need to go to human resources and you need to follow. You need to call the state government. Tell them about what they doing over there. They can't be doing that. All that poor, broke, poverty thinking. Y'all know who I'm talking about. You hear them in your head right now. You hear that auntie or that uncle or your mother or your father or you hear them in your head right now with that poor mentality. 10 cents? You getting 10 cents an hour? Oh, fuck that. You need to quit. You need to go get what you worth. Know your worth. He turned around and said, okay, cool. Now I'm gonna make you work for free. You're gonna work for fucking free. Yeah, but I can't get my comic books no more. Yeah, it is what it is. You're gonna learn this lesson. I don't even want you relying on a paycheck. At 9 years old, you will not become dependent on a paycheck. Like your daddy is. Like your daddy is going to teach your children. That's paycheck to paycheck parents teach their kids to be paycheck to paycheck adults. Your paycheck to paycheck mama and daddy or mama or daddy taught you to be a paycheck to paycheck adult. Fucking opportunity because you're moving by emotion, not logic. And so instead, these kids, they took the plunge. He offered to pay them $2 an hour in 1956 at 9 years old. And they didn't say a word. They didn't decline. They didn't accept. They just kept quiet. They fought the fear of saying, deal, I'll take it. Like your ass would if somebody was to dangle a carrot in front of your face. They dangle a company car. They dangle a company phone. They dangle that company credit card in front of your face. They dangle the opportunity to travel. They dangle, come on. The kids didn't say anything. He said, okay, no problem. So then what happened? The kids turned around and discovered that the store manager was cutting the magazines up and getting credit and throwing them in the trash. They asked the distributor of the comic books, hey, can we have those? He said, yes, you can have them if you work for the store and you promise to not sell them. We work for the store. We won't sell them. These kids opened a library at his house. And kids came over for 10 cents each and read these comic books that they amassed, because they must have been throwing a lot of them away. And remember, there was no television. Television was invented in 1954. So this is 2 years after television. Nobody gave a shit about a television in 1956. Everybody read. That was Instagram. The comic books in 1956 was Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube. But the books were 10 cents a pop. And so these kids had a comic book where the cover was cut. Just the first page. The rest of the book was fine. And they said, come on over for 2 hours. You can read these books. All you got to do is pay us 10 cents. These suckers made over $9 an hour. They split that. They paid the sister $1. They kept the $8 and change between each other. Each weekend, each one of them made $4 and some change. And they didn't even need to be there. That opportunity would never have arisen. That opportunity would never have been placed in front of them. That window of opportunity that so many of you have passed by in life would never have opened up to them if they would have took the 25 cents an hour job. It wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened if they quit because they felt that they were being underpaid for 10 cents an hour. Two Cents Uncensored said, don't forget, they gave the little sister a job and they employed somebody. Yes. Yeah, real quick, 2 Cents Uncensored. Don't forget to send an email to soldiers@shannonrawls.com. So my personal assistant can send you over a gift card because you followed Quafinino's page and you were bold enough to do that, and you were bold enough to say it publicly. I want to bless you. So don't forget, all you got to do is just send an email with your phone, grab your phone, send an email to soldiers@shannonrawls. You see my name, shannonrawls.com, and say, hey, this is 2 Cents Uncensored. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Yes. Don't forget they gave the sister a job reading for free. They're not giving her a lesson as well. Yes. They're employing their family, paying her more money than she would have ever gotten otherwise for 2 hours of work. 2 hours of work? She's getting 50 cents an hour in 1956. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. We're going to wrap it up. I want you guys to please subscribe. Let's do the contest winner. Did everybody type salute in the chat? I'm going to give everybody 15 seconds to type the word salute in the chat to make sure you're entered. Why am I asking you to type salute? Because I do a giveaway every show. The computer does the work. So it's looking for everybody to type the word salute. You got 15 seconds. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. RCC, you already got $200 gift card coming. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the system replying to you guys. All right, let's go. Bring it up. Where's my contest? There we go. All right, here we go. I see y'all names in here. Wait, I don't see everybody's name. Hold on, let me refresh my screen. Stream giveaways. Oh, there's everybody's name. Everybody's in here. All right, here we go. The winner of today's giveaway is, let's close the entries. Entries are closed. New entries into this show is closed. And the winner is LaRonda Thomas. The system is going to tell you in a second. Look, I don't do it. It's going to type it right now. Streamlabs. LaRonda Thomas has won the free gift card. It was out of 25 of you guys. Listen, I do this every time I go live. All you got to do is, you don't have to get involved in the conversation. I got to just type the word salute. That's it. And you're automatically entered whenever I go live. I appreciate you guys. LaRonda, you know what to do. Pay attention to the instructions. Then I can complete that one and reset it for the next time. Everybody, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button on this video. Oh, we're at 48 likes. Can I get 2 more? You know, this is rounded up to 50. If you guys are watching this show, can I get a thumb? I need 2 people to give me a thumbs up just so we can round it up to 50. Just so we can round it up to 50. Do that for your boy. Let's let YouTube know that you guys actually like the show. That's right. Everybody tell LaRonda congratulations. Tell LaRonda congratulations. Even if you type salute 100 times, you only entered once. I do have the option to make it so every time you type salute, you get 1, 2, 3, but I'm not doing that. So you can type salute 10 times or 1 time, and you're only entered once. And then it picks randomly for the people that's in there. All right, thank you to the person that just hit the thumbs up on the video. We're at 49. Can I get 1 more? I know out of the 25 people that's in here, all of y'all didn't hit the like button. I just want you to like button 1. 1 like. I need 1 like. 1. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Join the army. Oh, somebody just hit the like button. Whoever that was, thank you. Hoo-ah! I appreciate you. We have made it to 50 likes. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Join the sidebar over at Facebook. The link is in the video. You see it. The link is in the description of the video. We have sidebar discussions all day long. Everybody's invited. It's a Facebook group called Sidebar with Shannon Rawls over at Facebook. Okay. My name is Mr. Shannon Rawls. Thank you for reading along with us, you guys. I appreciate you. Remember, reading is the way to expand your mind and your bank account. That's what we talk about here. We talk about relationships and entrepreneurship. Right now, we're talking about entrepreneurships. we're trying to learn how to get money. Rich dad, poor dad. We're listening to what the rich dad said. The poor dad is what we all got. Everybody got a poor dad. We got enough poor dads in our family. Let's listen to some rich dads now. Let's listen to some rich dads. Brother Grundy. That was you? Number 50? Hold on. Brother Grundy. Hold on. Brother Grundy, do me a favor. Send an email. Brother Grundy. Send an email to superchat at shannonrawls.com. All one word. SUPERCHAT. Is it super chats or super? No, it's singular. Super chat. SUPERCHAT at shannonrawls.com. Send an email to superchat at shannonrawls.com. Brother Grundy, I'm going to shoot you over a gift card because you took me to 50. You took me to 50 likes on this video. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. So just for that, I'm gonna have my assistants to shoot you over. One of my staff is gonna shoot you over a gift card. Thank you so much. That's how we do. Y'all don't know what you just don't know when you get blessed. When you bless people, you get blessed. That's how it works. Remember, reading is a way to expand your mind and body to your mind and your bank account. Tune in next time to Rich People Read, everybody. And you, my friends, y'all already know what I'm gonna say, right? Are dismissed.
Yeah. Escucha. Mío en tu habitación, solo los 2 segundos que hay que detener. Porque si no siento tu voz o tu olor, te extraño y te quiero ver. Quiero ver. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas. Que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Me haces falta, bebé. Dime qué tengo que hacer pa' tenerte de una vez, pa' no poderte perder. Dulce, eres mi bombón. Te quiero melocotón. Por ti corro un maratón. Solo de la dirección. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. Pa' mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión. Somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas. Que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Mira, somos perfectos. Es algo indiscutible. Mi estilo y tu estilo no están disponibles. Solo soy sensible cuando te tengo porque eres irresistible. Tus labios combinan con tus ojos. Porque eres tan pretty que hasta yo de eso miento. Chica, necesito mis anteojos. Quiero verte en noche hermosa de todos modos. Tú y yo, queriendo más amor. A mí no es suficiente. Yo quiero tu calor. Tú y yo, con esa conexión. Somos lo que la gente no ha visto de los dos. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas. Que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada. Tanto me falta. Todas esas noches tan soñadas. Que me levantes a mirada. Tú tienes pinta de indicada.